We're into it, yeah, let's go. Pistol round.
Let's go indeed. All right, let's get into the thick of things. FNATIC up against Vodafone Giants. This is going to be a bit weird and wacky and wonderful, maybe. Don't quite know what to make of this. The compositions are weird, but we'll take a weird game. And a good start for Ambi there. And we already got to kind of touch in on the Giants, and we got to see them on a map that was a little unorthodox. Now we get to see them back on kind of a more traditional approach.
Absolutely. It's,
maybe not for FNATIC.
Well, maybe not so much as they re-explore here. Hoodie.
Hello.
With a trigger.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, God.
Spike down B.
FNATIC.
A graphic of Lothar with the patch changes just up on the screen there.
Idiot.
Great to see as he finds 3 with the classic stick, responds with 2 of his own.
Taking that back.
Let's see here if he can recover anything further in this round. We'll find David P as well, but down to 6 HP. The damage is already done. Meadow will clean things up. And it's a good start. Now, interesting, actually, the desk overlooked things. Again, I'm going to need a clip of Lothar actually saying he was excited to see somebody play Reyna. Not a good start. But also, I mean, we're almost missing Kukuka here because the Omen pick, there's another team that tried to employ this, potentially to be a little unpredictable. Whether or not that's Giants' game plan here. Surprised really, actually, Tombiz overlooked that one.
It's normally so on the ball.
I mean, we're lucky we didn't have Mitch Mann on the desk, that's all I'll say.
Yeah, I'll be with you. Any time away from Mitch is probably a good time.
Yeah. Some breathing space, some quiet time.
You need a little bit of it, don't you? Looks like contact up cat. Coutinho going to just back away from this for now. Just really safe spot. Oh, it's actually aggressing on it for a second. Man, these boys are up against the ball, aren't they? Duck always got one, but they set up Meadow for success. Catching all 3. And so far, so good. Yeah, this has been quite comfy for the Giants so far.
4 will survive. Carry across these weapons. And a great opportunity to convert the bonus round also. See here what FNATIC throw at this buy round. And again...
Hold on, I think we're using the cams that the CSGO major's been using. That's nice.
Very meta joke.
I know. Oh, look,
What major? Something else?
No.
Going on at the minute?
Nothing.
No?
Nothing. Does have a timeout coming in because it's us casting, of course.
Obviously, yeah.
Obviously. How have you been without tech timeouts?
I've been a little lost, honestly. It's weird to have to have best of ones and have games actually concluded within 30 minutes. It's also a weird feeling.
NA last chance qualifier.
I went outside a minute ago. I thought it must be about 9 o'clock, surely.
No, it was, you know, still relatively early in the day. Man.
Which means we're due one.
Of course. Well, we go back into this now. Keep your eyes on the buy coming out from FNATIC. Of course, they do have the rifles beside them. And oh my word, why is there an Omen in mid? Oh, bloomin' X, what's going on? FNATIC! What's happening? Don't know why I went Welsh with that.
The Valley. It might not be late yet, but...
It feels like it.
It feels late.
It's setting in. It's setting in.
See if Doma's able to find anything. We desperately try and get back on track.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I mean, the round started with David P swinging mid with
just standing there, like a chocolate teapot in middle.
Standing.
Right. The 1v4 didn't go very well.
Doesn't even get started.
No, you gotta try. You gotta try.
Stand.
Yeah.
But yeah, a great conversion there. They're gonna get these upgrades on the back of FNATIC's purchase. Got what? What have you got? Okay.
A lack of sanity at this point, I think.
Yeah.
It's just like, we've seen the weirdest comps.
That sent
mad. It sent me. It sent me. What are you meant to do? How do you recover from this? Talk me through the steps that you've gone through here to recover.
I mean, you start 6-1 on the Sage that Lothar said he wasn't excited to see. That's a good way to.
That's the beginning.
Get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
And Doma to start 0-3 on the Reyna. After all that excitement from the desk.
It was looking so likely. And it's going to be kind of one extreme to another, right? We're going to come out of these best of ones, and then it's like best of 5, like in longevity galore. So this is going to be one for the books, I'm sure, this event. Kind of a fun one to keep your eyes on. Definitely get to have a little glimpse of what the teams are working on. Some mad theories coming up. David P, unrelenting, does double dink down Mystic, and gets away, building towards that ult as well.
Again, not to curse things, but last time, they touched on this on the desk, this one went the distance. It was actually 18-16, the last appearance here on Ascent back in July. David P, he had a fantastic performance. That was, again, they already touched on it when David P was causing problems for so many teams.
Everyone.
The Giants and their little hot run. Actually, Doma will find Hoodie. Coutinho responds on the Boaster here, but again, everybody in the right position.
Down,
except for Ambi, finds himself with a shot dart.
It's important to find yourself.
Afraid.
Very important.
He's on a soul-searching journey.
Yeah, it's good to
30
see.
seconds left.
Magnum actually able to tuck in, and now in a really strong position to play off the back of his spy cam. Coutinho here, actually, well, be careful he doesn't get caught with it. Coutinho finds both of those?
I don't know how he just got both.
That transfer must have been insane.
Yeah.
I thought at that point, again, Coutinho's got to be careful because he's playing in front of Switch here. Again, with the spy cam tag coming onto him, he's got to be careful of anybody getting a shot with the Sheriff through from sight, but able to readjust for the second, and Giants put themselves 4 ahead very early on. FNATIC, again, they threw a Spectre in there. There was a couple of Sheriffs invested. Again, I've got to assume.
Who's flashbanging FNATIC? Casper, the friendly ghost squad. Look at him.
Mystic's hair's looking pretty spectacular, actually.
It's pretty good, right?
You're right, actually. Yeah, the camera angles are fantastic.
This is what I love to see. It brings me such joy. If you're going to start
Anybody's
bringing
wondering,
out
this is why we lean away from them occasionally.
It's great.
Lurker's got his cutback as well.
What's that?
His haircut.
Oh.
Cutting their vision.
Doma looking elated to be on this
Beautiful.
Reyna.
Yeah. You can see him driving. Ooh, Tino almost with the punish on that. But this is all going to be regrouping towards Ambi's site. Now, there are still a couple of players present, Ambi being one. Hopefully it's a better scenario than the previous round, where he managed to be his own worst enemy.
Right here.
He does have Meadow by his side. Some of the calls are coming out for some support on the way, but already you can see the hit coming in. It's thick and fast, already going to take the side, but Meadow does find Domus. Not bad impact so far. Durka, a little unleashed, a little off sort as well. Does eventually get shut down. This is not pretty work so far. FNATIC are kind of floundering to land that final punch.
David P actually with the ultimate TP to back site, but he's isolated here. Magnum finds 2. Comes down just 2 members of Giants to try and recover this. FNATIC will get a clean plant, but all 3 players now stuck on site. Neural theft invested, but again, only can confirm their suspicions. Both players close by already. Coutinho got to find something with the operator on the way in here. And he actually does, he finds Mystic inside the astral form.
Dreamy timing. Magnum, now he's sweating bullet to the back of the side, but they've got to get a move on. It's got to be now. We've got to make that move. Nothing being gifted at this point. Hoodie going to try and work in, but it's Coutinho all the way finding Boaster. And now Magnum caught in the side. And my oh my, FNATIC looking a little rough around the edges.
Absolutely crumbled.
Yep.
That post-plant hold. And again, the timing there, as soon as Mystic slips in, the peak comes through, and there's no counter peak. Again, it's on the back of that. He's way out in the open. That's all Giants needed to fight their way back onto site. And again, it's really difficult with the way that comes out. Ambi initially, and almost a little overzealous to swing ahead of that Cosmic Divide. Desperate for that trade onto, I think it was Meadow who initially finds the opening. But again, a rough round for FNATIC to concede.
I mean, we've got to talk about this. This is a best of 1, right? So as much as this isn't like, you know, staying in the event, leaving the event, any of that, it is now or it's your face liquid,
well,
right? And
are in fantastic form right
they're
now.
looking
We know
solid.
Coming out of the LCQ, they're looking very comfortable with the addition of Nivera. And again, almost written in the stars as the desk were alluded to. That it will be FNATIC to face Liquid, at least here by the first 5 rounds. If there anything to go by, Coutinho will catch a tag on the Aldro. Meadows here to at least slow things down, but David P as well. He's got himself into a tricky situation. Look at that! It's disgusting from David P.
David P, he just always somehow gets away with it. The rattiest corners,
no
the dirtiest angles. He had no right to be there.
It's like you go back to 2020 Omen plays. It's like, I'm just going to TP behind you when you try and hit the site. I'm just going to TP behind you and shoot a few of you in the back. And it's so simple, but again, the amount of impact that he had, again, just coming back to that hot streak that
Look at
the
this.
Giants had.
He sat there.
Cage is
Gremlin.
perfect as well.
Oh. And look, it helps that he can actually control himself incredibly well, adjust perfectly. Yes, it's mostly shots on people not fighting you, but the amount of times we see those get whiffed, but...
The bait as well, of Fatinho to eat the Aldrone tag and then
Yep.
come back, it's almost like, yeah, push us, come on, I have to play defensively now. Initially, one player behind Jen's the one to slow things down, but David P in a position to completely rip that execution apart.
Hey, it's time out for FNATIC, and a necessary one. This has been quite unpleasant, to say the least.
Unpleasant viewing.
Yeah. See, clearly elated. So Durka.
Looking about as happy as Doma, actually, on that Reyna. But again, look to him to be in it. But, again, with the compositions we've seen today, and we already know that FNATIC are not showing everything they've been working on. They've again, it's always exciting to see FNATIC have the opportunity to get back in the lab, get a little geeky, get a little cheesy.
Well, they're good at.
Get back to their roots, but whether or not this is the opportunity, because it's almost for them to avoid the LCQ and obviously be through to obviously what's coming at the end of the year. Here, whether or not they want to show their hand.
I like this. Fatinho been predominantly over towards that A side, kind of playing and showing a lot of presence. Adjustment. Did he get a tag off that? I'm not sure. It looks like he's clipped, or at least something's clipped a couple of players. However, look at FNATIC closing the gap, instantly hunting him down. Going to put his Ambi on the side, very much on his own, but he did get a fair fight, at least on the first. Going to take down Durka, but the trade came in from Doma, and now the site is theirs.
Again, everybody committed to site though, and we know how this went for FNATIC last time. There'll be 3 members of Giants to come through. They have the res and potential here to actually invest it on front side. Actually, Hoodie catch the trap wire, but no follow-up from Magnum. And I can't speak now.
Nagmum.
Nagmum.
Your duty is not
Was due one of those.
Yeah, at least it wasn't a retake.
See if they can get this
P.
retake started.
He has got Boaster, so there is a chance for it. Let's have a look though. Double stack towards the back of Boathouse, and Meadow's gone away with so much already. Just going to tear himself up here. He knows where he is, and Meadow's on it.
No time.
Timing, gonna slip away from him, but they're happy enough with that. And FNATIC needed one back, honestly. They've been floundering so far. Get themselves a little bit of a goer here.
It's not even reassuring that that's the round they're able to squeeze
really.
through. It
Not
was almost like we'll run the clock down, and it's ultimately the clock that decides that one for them.
one enemy remaining.
A fumble there on the way in.
Last
Like I said,
player
Magnum unfortunately not in a position to swing on that trap wire, and ultimately that's the one that stops that retake
And
from getting started.
of course. And I do have to say though, at least for Giants, and this is maybe for people who only check in on the tier 1 events, they don't get to see these guys so much. Maybe you missed their kind of run to almost being at a lot of the bigger tournaments, and the absolute streak they went on. These guys are very much a threat, and you're going to see as to why. David P is part of that narrative, part of that message. See Doma try and do what he can to quell this. David P already going to take that space towards middle.
And tuck himself in. Opposite Sub-Rosie here, and actually Boaster seemingly reading into this. I think he might be in range to hear this TP. But David P actually sticks it to Wine. Now that's huge.
Just kind of skipped ahead of the queue, but now Magnum, vision limited. Boaster going to try and work the timing. He's worked it really well. He needs that follow-up though. Still does well enough to come away with 2 there. That's perfect stuff. Time is going to be a factor now. Giants make it. Oh my God! Doma does it to him!
You should stop trying.
All right. Look, Reyna, we'll still put a question mark by, but apparently that gun in his hands looks real good.
I don't want to see him on any other weapon for the rest of the half.
That's it, that's
Those
it.
first 2 were crisp. And in that scenario from hell, it's so difficult to actually isolate, you know, a single angle onto
Normally
one.
it's traded, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Instantly.
I'm not sure. I mean, well, it was a little disjointed, or the timing was a little off. The fact that David P is able to commit to Wine, that there is such a huge factor for somebody playing from hell, because you can't swing open onto site. Doma pulling off an absolute miracle in that round. Hoodie's forehead looking to have some input here. Whether or not he's going to be called upon. He actually held in place there, and Doma
I know
converts it.
exactly where you are.
Could have been 5 head. Lovely 2 head. Oh.
That's unlucky, Meadows. Meadows actually died because of Ambi's position being noted, and Magnum will find the second as well.
Spike planted.
Yeah, this is, you know, forking it. This one's done.
Yeah, a little bit of bite back actually from
Player
Fnatic.
standing.
We'll find David P as well. Coutinho now opting to try and hold on to this operator, but Fnatic, they want to double down, pile on the pressure here, remove it from Coutinho's hands. Don't give them anything to work on. Coutinho, look to your left. Oh my God, Durka. Yep,
Oh.
I'll allow that one.
That
actually.
one is very much encouraged.
Yes.
Right.
Now everybody else is like, do we pick him again?
Ooh, Jame time seems kind of cool. Maybe we won't. Right, just gonna keep that up.
I mean,
Someone else
thank
can
God we
contest.
weren't actually watching Durka's POV there.
Can you imagine?
I don't want to.
It wouldn't have been nice, would it?
We had the webcam feed, that was enough.
Yeah. Saw the reaction.
So, Giants now will call a timeout with, again, a little bit of a different approach there. I think on both sides of the coin. Giants looking to at least, you know, fight to the death for that entry onto B main, and Fnatic also stacking up a little heavier than they have previously in these rounds. Almost willing to fight fire with fire, and that time it goes in their favor.
Look at that keyboard positioning.
I mean, I always said this actually with the online cams. Actually, that was nearly all over the mouse pad.
Don't do
How many times have we had that online? It's like, yeah, sorry, I've spilled an entire can of Red Bull onto my PC.
It
Right.
did not go any faster. I'm
Right.
devastated. Look, it's
That's what the glasses are for, though. When you are only 8 inches away from the monitor,
gotta.
yeah, you got to get the gunners. That's why they're
Yeah.
polarized. They got the old
Well,
Edgar Davids look on. 7 people in chat will know that reference.
I
So
mean,
that's an age thing.
could bring up that reflect cream that came out. Didn't go very well though, did it?
Not sure what you're talking about.
No.
No.
No. 6-3. And
Great
so
stuff, though.
far. You a fan?
Yeah, big fan.
Big fan. Big fan. Okay. What do we have now?
Actually,
Now?
the Giants pulled together, I mean, other than the stinger, they pulled together a pretty comfortable purchase here. Look at almost a team huddle outside B main right now for Fnatic. Everybody stacked up here. They will try and force their way in on the back of the Aldrone. I guess maybe anticipating that
Here.
Giants haven't opted to fully invest into this, or at least throw everything into this. B-site wide open for the taking, and a better opportunity now for Fnatic to take up some post-plant positions, but Boaster removed very early on before the spike is even planted. The neural theft will actually give away that mid lurk as well, so they know they have the numbers advantage on site.
Okay. For now, the trade's still
player
coming in,
standing.
but Giants are cracking spot. Magnum had nowhere to go.
It's systematic. I mean, again, the timing on catching Boaster, the bait from David P actually there, he actually throws out a TP, but not necessarily even needed. Hoodie finding that kill. And again, way ahead of time, Lauren. A couple of these rounds actually look a little awkward for Fnatic, even when you consider the comp changes, not wanting to show your strats, and that's a little worrying actually, because the fundamentals completely lacking.
It's like, how much of a pinch of salt do we take, right? Because obviously Fnatic are not playing this to the highest caliber. But, I mean, to some extent, you do have to then ask the question about, okay, well, fundamentally, what's going on? Because spacing's been a bit weird, trading's been a bit off, comps are weird. Like, I get it, right? I do understand, but definitely, you know, posing a question at this point.
Get out of my way.
All right, Ambi.
Again, Fnatic trying to force their way into B site. Ambi's found very early on. Again, dare I say it, a comfortable opportunity here for Fnatic to set up for this post plant, because all 4 members of Giants left standing are making their way through B main. Now the important thing is here, Fnatic send 2 into the defender's spawn. And again, Look for them to counterbalance losing B main control for something else here.
Yeah, it's like the old switcheroo, it looks like. Now, at this point, though, Fatino does find Doma, so let's see if they can kind of crack open those players lingering around CT side. Time being bought, and that spike is dwindling now. Time is a huge element. Mystic playing in the back of the side, though, just needs to play to it. It's gone!
Everything.
And the wall! Magnum has to try and break through. He finally shows his hand, and these guys are playing perfect Valorant at times. Just seeing these retakes really looking so strong.
But again, it's taking note of, obviously, FNATIC do what is necessary there. They take control of something else, they give up B main, they take control of spawn. And then Giants with the perfect response. Again, they just stack up and they prioritize one side over the other. And again, the word systematic. It's one by one they find everything on the way back in.
And the amount of these rounds now, that's 2 back-to-back they've been able to pull off like this. And 3 for FNATIC, just, it ain't enough. It's not doing it. And keep in mind, we had that Dome around coming in, so a couple of individual things that have kind of got them across the finish line. This is an off-brand FNATIC, it looks like, at this point. Struggling to make a land, and Giants going to take this with strides.
I mean, this is a 9-3 half. It's disastrous to say least. Again, FNATIC try and force their way through to B site. Giants happy to give this up. This time around, Boaster's in position to try and address this flank coming through, but again they find Boaster before the spike's planted. Mystic, the second line of defense in B main now. He will be called upon to quell some of this aggression that Giants are showing. Actually, Magnum now the paranoia invested in. This should be 2 freebies.
Magnum somehow stays alive, and he actually keeps doing exactly as the doctor ordered for FNATIC. And that's a bailout and a half here as Ambi presented what seems the impossible. Doma in the dirtiest position, and now Durka has to respect this a little. The time still so favorable here. Durka's falling away to a far more favorable angle to catch that cross, and well, Ambi's got no time to do this.
Yeah, much better from FNATIC there again, investing what's necessary.
Last player standing. Switching sides.
To actually control that flank there. It will be 8-4 on the half. Again, FNATIC with it all to do to fight their way back into this one. The bar set pretty high. Again, I said this earlier with Giants on Fracture. You can see that they're not afraid to show their potential once again. And I think really, coming back to that hot streak,
What are these games today, Hypok? I
don't know
what to say.
I don't know.
This is mad. We've just had like the weirdest and most wacky results.
Revealing area.
We go back in, right? Let's go back to this. FNATIC, please. Just give me a normal half here. Let's get to a normal half. We can do it. Please.
What is normal after today?
You know what? That's a very deep question that
Yeah.
I don't think I have the answer to anymore.
Well, what is needed is an answer to this little set piece in towards B. Doma immediately, though. Find Fatinho. And a ghost to boot. Oh, actually, you can see he's got himself a little angle. Hoodie tries to thread the needle to find a kill. Again, now, this wall, the longer it's there, the longer it kind of runs the clock down in favor of Giants. A 3-man swing on towards the stairs actually will go in their favor. David P responds with 2.
Player standing.
Dome will find another one, and Meadow on this late lurk in the pistol. He's got to find a kill now.
Timing, that diffuse isn't
That's it.
stopping. He can't
done.
get there in time. He knows it now. He's been outdone, outmaneuvered, and FNATIC finally starting to wake up.
And it's always a risk to leave somebody that late on in the round unless you absolutely have control of sight. And ultimately, they didn't. Yes, the wall's there, but FNATIC are able to stack up as 5 people behind that. So there, you're expecting Meadow to be the one to rip away some of that control.
Yep.
So a little disconnected, a little too much of a gap left with that lurk. Oh, Dome was just woken up. He actually looks half asleep.
You're right, mate.
Yeah.
The worst thing is we don't have a cough button right now, so you just get us
Yeah.
fully unleashed.
Unfiltered.
Yeah, normally the giggles
Dangerous.
get cut away, but You're stuck with us now as Boaster is stuck to the outcome the hoodie presented. Just pinged out, noted, and away we go. FNATIC might be instantly reminded, and Doma might need that wake-up call here, as Giants are going to be all over that site. Spike's already there, ferried in safely, and now it's going down.
This time around again, Meadow a little disconnected still, but at least closer by. Timing won't really be a factor here. In fact, Magnum tries to swing out here, and again, Giants will find a kill. It's Meadow to find Durka, but everywhere else, FNATIC finding what's necessary to fight their way back onto site. Mystic now called upon. Will get the better of Meadow. David P, the last man standing. Not for much longer now. Doma finds his third on the round, and the defuse will come through. FNATIC now put themselves within 2 rounds of Vodafone Giants. That lead they were able to establish in the first half, and you've got to say that's potentially now another one leaning in FNATIC's favour. See what the investment here, or what the purchase looks like actually for Giants coming to this one, because again, a couple of bits and bobs thrown at that, it's not pretty.
No, it isn't. I was seeing if there was anything that could maybe leverage a bit more of faith in this buy, but Boaster's up to something. Yeah, this purchase is going to be... I mean, you kind of hope it gets handily dealt with. I want their anti-ecos to be clean for FNATIC, just overall. But hey, we've seen these guys kind of pull a couple of decent shots out for the Giants. Again, individually extremely talented, and they can hear the sheriffs. They kind of know already what they're up against, but it's always good to get that confirmation. There's already Doma on patrol. David P could try and find a bit of timing on this, as we know that he can do. Very much within the wheelhouse right now.
It's weird actually to see David P tucked in a position where he's kind of in the same realm as the execution, I guess, that's lingering now as the spike will make its way back towards top mid. You see there David P pinging out exactly where his paranoia is going to be sent. Like they're going to try and burst onto the backside of Generator here, but Doma in position to greet David P once he does swing. And 2 members actually, Durka and Mystic playing on heaven and hell. I don't think anyone actually will be tagged with this paranoia here. Once it gets sent in, it will catch people in hell.
Ooh, Mystic's in a bit of trouble. Fatino does at least get past that hurdle, but it's Durka raining fire from above. He's still pretty safe up here, hasn't been threatened just yet. But David P always somehow finds some timing, as if Boaster just does it like that. It's not very pretty, is it? It's not
10
pretty,
seconds.
Valorant.
10 seconds
indeed,
left.
10 seconds. Boaster, how'd you play this one out? He's going to go in for it, but keep in mind that classic ain't what it was. Vitinho out of the bag on this.
I think Boaster may be anticipating the plant was actually on default in front of Gen there. Jumps down. You can see there with the lack of reaction, I guess, from Boaster. Completely caught off guard with that. It's a really awkward conclusion to that round after Durka's done so well to do the damage from heaven.
Oh man, that's a bit of a kick in the teeth for FNATIC after what looked like the perfect bounce back. Right
well,
now, look where we're at.
That's to consider what the purchase looked like on the back of the forcing round 2 from Giants as well. It's round 3 they pull out.
Oh, and sends one up. No.
Ah.
Oh, but this goal
Isn't great.
You know, sometimes you got to believe in things, right? You got to kind of like hype it up. You see the potential, right?
I mean, it could have been. The worst thing is that Giants, the way they play this, there's 3 people. It's not just one kind of stacked up like, outside there.
That perfect back-to-back. There's a nice bit of work from Durka. Here we go. Maybe there's a little bit of life in them yet. There was a pick in the meantime as well, so it's not completely without reward. There is only 3 standing, and Spike yet to be planted. Durka going to close that gap. Hoodie on the site. Vitinho and Ambi.
That's bad timing. It caught him just tucking in behind the wall there. We'll get the tag as well, but Durka will retrieve an Odin. And whether or not FNATIC just look to do damage here, with the way that these have played out, this purchase here, again, it's almost a bonus on top with what they invested on round 2. So the damage is crucial for FNATIC if they can find anything else.
Oh, this hasn't been pretty from Durka. No, it's not good at all. Giants, again, it got a little dicey at times with Durka. And again, that moment from Boaster could have maybe become something.
That's the pivot point of that round. If Boaster can find anything ahead of that execution, it's huge for FNATIC because it gives them an extra 5-second buffer before the hit comes through. And again, it makes it a little easier for Durka potentially to double down on that mid-aggression, but we are back to a scenario, effectively 2-2 in the second half and back to a 4-round deficit for FNATIC to fight back into. And look what's left. Not an awful lot in terms of the finances. Durka throwing the Bladestorm in, again, in that previous round means they haven't got it now to look forward to in the next if they do concede. And if they do concede, it's 11 rounds for Giants. And seemingly 12 with the economy taken into account.
Yeah, it does start to just spiral at that point, it feels. There's David beginning to explore up towards Sean, but Durka in the meantime did find Ambi. Where was that? Oh, he pushed out through B and put him on Cat. Okay. Good little start though. Love a proactive play. But that A site is looking light on members. It is just Magnum here for now.
It's a big kill. And stop this before it gets going. Remove the smokes, remove the paranoia. Again, at this point they can give up sight because it's going to be a very shaky hold for Giants if they get this spike down. And you can see already how many bodies FNATIC have got stacked up. So Giants with it all to do here.
It's such a tricky one with 3 players. Effective trading can pretty much get you across that finish line, but FNATIC do need to stay on, you know, on a decent form in this. Fatino trying to be the first, and he's got a clean no trade. Where's trade? There's no trade! Fatino gets away with murder. FNATIC, what are you up to right now? Fatino! He's tearing him limb from limb. That's 3 huge kills, and the rest is all just semantics. This is nothing. Boaster, FNATIC, you have to be gutted in that situation.
But this is what's the fundamentals seem to lack in the first half. That right there is it's a 5v3 retake. They lose the paranoia, they lose the smokes, anything to really slow things down on the way back in.
What was
FNATIC.
that?
And again, Fatino, this is the perfect way to, it takes real balls, but this is the perfect way to play when you're at such a disadvantage. Get aggressive, be unorthodox. I don't think FNATIC are considering the possibility that anybody's going to try something that kind of overzealous to swing that back in their favor, but Fatino massively delivers in that post plant.
I don't care if FNATIC are, you know, not as focused, not playing their full comps. You lose like that in a round where you have 5 alive on a retake, you had every right to win, you are not happy. That is fundamentals communication, something going astray. Yes, Vitinho did really well to get, I'd say, the first and second. Everything else, even just the spacing on that, even just the consideration that could be happening, it can't happen like that. Not from a tier 1 team. This isn't just, you know, oh, it's just Boaster and his mates. This is FNATIC. Meadows already found Magnum.
And that's so deep as well. Durka trying to actually follow up on this, but he's down to 20 HP. Newell theft invested. Will give away the setup of FNATIC here, and it's looking like Giants want to swing right back towards A site here. Hoodie elsewhere. We'll find one Doma trades out, but it's all a ruse. Giants find their way in. They force Durka back. Like I said, he's 20 HP. He can't stay to fight this. With a Marshal in hand, we really talked about what the purchases were going to be looking like for FNATIC in this round. If they conceded the previous, looks like Giants will convert even further.
Spike planted.
Now let's see if it goes any better. This time, though, you're not well equipped. You're not in the right place to do this. You're not maybe as well armed, but let's see if they get that opportunity. There it is. That's a springboard moment, but look how quickly Giants fill that gap, fill that void, and fill the scoreline with their names. This is Giants looking right on the cusp now.
They absolutely are. It's match point. Again, with that round that's able to just swing back in Giants' favor, I think now the momentum heavily stacked in their favor. FNATIC backs against the wall, the economy dwindling. Going to be stretched financially here coming into this. It's looking a lot better than what you could ask for. Operator online, that's the thing I look towards. It's almost a miracle here. Nothing
Get out of my way.
else really for Durka to do, but to try and look for a first blood here.
We'll try and do something, because right now it's looking like the Giants are going to get across that line and force you to face Liquid. Fatino wants to take him there. 2 huge kills. And the third now beckoning. He can't quite find it, as Magnum does at least to live to fight for another. As Giants still have 3 alive, the spike going down. can these last two players do?
Spike planted.
They're going to fight their way back in from spawn here. Haldrone going to slow things down. The drone actually tags Magnum, so again, got to freeze for a couple of seconds to wait this out. Cosmic Divide will be invested now. That could be a lifeline for FNATIC.
It certainly could be. Magnum, can you make the most of it? Yes. Great first step. Perfect second. But Meadow in the 1v1. He's done it for him. Giants besting FNATIC.